Hey everybody, welcome back to Fox Can Fix It. Today we're experiencing the joy that is transmission cooler lines. So the transmission cooler lines run along the passenger side and go up to the radiator after being threaded through the subframe and various other places where it's nearly impossible to go ahead and put a new one in. But some of the problems I have is transmission cooler lines aren't really going to cool if they're on the exhaust. And if I bend these transmission cooler lines, they're probably going to break because they're very, very old. So we're just going to replace them. I already ordered the set. Here's one of them dangling there, so I know I can thread it through. And all we really have to do today is get them from here back to where we just were via this route. It's just as fun as it sounds, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to start by removing them off the radiator. Hey, I just discovered my battery box is plywood. It's not going to rust. All right, these appear to be half-inch, and they're going to break, but you know, half-inch wrench until we snap them. If you've got a half-inch line wrench, that's really going to help you snap these quicker, or not round them off, depending on what they want to do. But if not, just regular half-inch wrench will work. It's going to turn the whole line. It's moving the whole radiator, so that's good. I'm glad the radiator's really bolted in well. Nope, it's not. That's not going to move. All right. What about back here? There's the cooler lines going in the transmission. Those look to be in just horrific shape. So there we go. That's both of them. All right, we'll start at this end and see what happens then. We're going to try a crow's foot and see if I can get it in there. I'm actually unthreading the fitting from the transmission and twisting this cooler line. So, you know, we get that going for us, which is nice. There we go. Hey, all right. Oh, so the fitting did indeed come off, but that's okay. This brass fitting will come off that line, then we'll get that rethreaded. Won't be a big deal. Now I gotta get the other one. All right. There's our second one. Lines are broken. No big deal. They're coming out anyways. What are you doing? Just get over there. Quit hanging on. Quit. There we go. One to go. So last thing to do is get to this, which is half-inch, and then we'll be able to start plugging some new lines in. Probably disconnect the battery anyways. I'm not on the starter side of it, but who knows? I'm moving metal around and I don't want to drag it across anything electrical. So since my battery has got to come out so I can get to this, I might as well disconnect it. And this one broke loose and is not catching the line. Sure. Why not? Get out of there. Come on. Come on. One. Two. If you're going to go yanking wildly on transmission cooler lines, make sure you look underneath. Make sure there's no wires or hoses you're going to cut first. There's really nothing under this side except a fuel line that's farther out on the frame rail, so we're good to go. And that's that. Dust in the eyes. Not like dust in the wind. Totally different. All right. I've got the new transmission cooler lines in. After fighting with them for a while, I came to realize it is not physically possible for me to show you removing and installation and routing. At least not with what I have and the capabilities here. Even with a lift, it's just not going to work. But the job's done, so let's go underneath and see what we got. I want to bend them a little bit more off the exhaust, so hold on. Customizing. Oh, look at that. That's like 3/8 now. That's plenty of space, as long as they're not touching. That's really the important part. All right, so there is literally no room down here for me to actually show you installing these lines. It's not possible. But they go from way up here, radiator, top and bottom on the passenger side, and they pop out here, and they go directly next to the oil pan. They don't touch it, but they're close. It's fine. We're also missing all the steering. Plenty of room here. Missing all the steering, missing the oil pan by, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch probably. And the big important thing is we keep off the exhaust by a finger width. That's really all the room I'm going to get, not much more than that. And it comes back here and hooks back into the transmission right where the old ones came out, top and bottom right there. Important things to know on this, or maybe not so important, who really knows. Make sure that the bottom line on the transmission goes to the same place on the radiator that it went with the old one, same way with the top. Although, I don't know if it would really matter that much, but for the sake of thermalness, I just do whatever. Just put them back where they came from. It's a real pain in the butt. You're going to get filthy. You're going to get covered in transmission fluid. But tool-wise, this job is pretty easy. You need a 1/2 inch and a 9/16 wrench. You're going to need a 9/16 socket. That's really just for the brass fittings on the transmission should they come out with the lines like mine did. You're going to need a 3/8 ratchet and a 6-inch extension. If you have a 3-inch extension, get that too. That may help. And you're going to definitely need a 1/2 inch 3/8 drive crow's foot. This was the key to the whole thing. There's no way I could have gotten those off the transmission without this. There is no room for a regular wrench, a stubby wrench, and anything. You're definitely going to need that. Unless you choose to cut the lines off, which there's not a whole lot of room to do that, but I guess you could cut the lines and a deep well half to take them off. That's fine, but you're going to need that crow's foot to put them back on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools for the whole job. Takes about an hour, and that was with me fiddling and trying to figure out what line went where and cutting things. So overall, not bad. Now my transmission cooler lines are off the exhaust, so they can actually cool things, and they're not 50 years old, so they're not just going to explode once they get too hot from touching that exhaust that they shouldn't have been on in the first place. All right, that's going to do it for today. Transmission cooler line swap. Tool-wise, pretty simple. Technical ability-wise, pretty simple. Just labor-intensive. That's really all it is. Dirt and labor, but nothing wrong with that. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll get some more stuff done on this Ventura next time, and we'll see you then.